All right. So, hi Mukesh. Welcome to the mock interview session with Postcard Prep. I am Sudhanshu. I am a graduate of IIM Lucknow. I have taken more than, I would say, 5,000 interviews in the last 10 years approximately. And it is going to be a lovely interaction. I think you are having an interview tomorrow, which is for Geo Institute. So, welcome. I'm hoping that you are doing well. So, Mukesh, I have your CV with myself. Why don't you start by introducing yourself?
Sure. So my name is Mukesh. I am 23. I was born in Rajasthan and brought up in Maharashtra. I have did my complete schooling from Maharashtra itself. I come from a Marwadi family business background. My dad has been into the business. He was actually the very first one to come in a state like Maharashtra and start his own business. He's a retailer. He owned few retail stores across Maharashtra. And because of my personal interest in business as well, I took commerce in 12th and I took BMS for my undergrad, specialized in marketing. And I also had a startup of my own, which I was running part time during college.
Got it. All right. So, Mukesh, I'm going to ask you a few questions to understand about your background a little better. So,
Sure.
you mentioned that you are from a Marwadi family and there are retail stores. What
Mhm.
retailing exactly do you do?
Sure. My dad owned multiple sweet shops across Maharashtra. We currently have three stores. One is in Pune and two are in Mumbai.
Got it. All right.
So it's been into this retail industry for about 20 years.
Very, very good. And you've also mentioned that you studied commerce. Okay. Where have you studied commerce from?
Sure. I have kind of did my education across Maharashtra. Like I did my 10th from Mumbai. I did my 12th and undergrad from Navi Mumbai, and now I'm in Pune. So I did my commerce 12th from a college called as DY Patil, in which is in Navi Mumbai, and I scored around 70 percentile in 12th.
Got it. So your marks is in that 70-80 range,
Mhm.
Kesh, across the academics that you have. Do you have any comments on that? Do you believe it's good, bad? How do you look at it?
I believe in terms of education, I am a pretty average student. Uh, although in but I do have some inclination towards maths and accounts as a subject. I scored highest in maths in 12th. All the other subjects were kind of decent. Apart from it, I also like theory subject a lot. Theory in terms of business subjects, and
Hmm. Got it. So you mentioned that you are inclined towards maths and accounts and business. You
hmm.
were also the highest scorer in class 12th in mathematics.
No, no. So all the exams I gave, the highest score was in the math subject.
Okay. So do you like maths?
Well, yes, a bit. But I used to like maths when I was in 12th, but I kind of started liking theory business subject more during my undergrad.
Got it. So you like accounts?
No, I don't.
You
I
don't
don't.
like you don't like accounts.
Um, no.
Okay. You've done commerce. What subjects do you like in commerce?
Commerce. We had an option to opt out from few subject in commerce. I opted for maths in 12th commerce, and in commerce 12th we had some subjects which was related to business and management. I really enjoyed studying those subjects which were related to business management.
So okay. So Mukesh, I'll reiterate. That does not answer my question. My question was,
Okay.
what subjects do you like in commerce?
You mean to ask when I was pursuing my 12th, what kind of subject I enjoy studying?
Yes. In commerce, what all subjects do you like?
So we did had few subjects which were related to business and management. I kind of really enjoyed studying those subjects. when I
Okay,
was
so
in
what
12th.
what are those subjects? That is my question.
Well, the name of the subject was the business management studies only, studies about business management,
But
marketing, and other stuff.
it will have subtopics, right? For example, let's say marketing, it will
Got
have, let's say,
Okay, okay,
finance,
got it,
right?
got it,
So business
got
management studies is your course, right? It will have
got it.
subjects within it. So what are the subjects that you like?
So few were, if I remember, were related to supply chain, logistics, CRM. You know how third-party logistics work. All of these subjects were something which I found interesting.
Okay. So tell me how many logistics models are there?
So currently, from my knowledge, I think there are 1, 2, and 3PL. Sorry, I'm not sure about one. There is something called as 3PL, which I'm sure about. And
Is there 4PL also?
It might be, but I'm currently not sure about it. 3PL is something which I'm sure about it.
Okay.
3PL stands for third party logistics services, in which what business actually do is they will get products from, let's say, manufacturer and supplier, and instead of they shipping out the products to consumers, they will kind of store the products in different third party logistics services ke warehouse, and they will ship products to the end consumer. So
Can
so
you
the benefit of following third party logistics services is because this see 3PL services ka business model is they will have a different warehouse across country. So because they're having warehouses across different different places in a country, so the duration of delivery time kind of reduces. So that's
got
the
it.
benefit.
Can you give me an example of a company that does it, that uses 3PL?
Sure. So there are many D2C brands such as Boat and Mamaearth, which is working with companies like Shiprocket, Nimbus Post, which kind of help them to deliver products to customers either on the same day or within 2 to 3 days. I mean, usually when e-commerce as an industry started, the delivery time was around 6 to 7 days. So now it has been reduced to like 3 days, 2 days, and sometime on the same days as well.
Okay. Tell me what are the challenges of 3PL?
3PL. Okay, so 3PL challenges for the 3PL companies or for the aggregator?
No, challenges that a company faces when it does a 3PL setup.
Okay, let's say, okay, so I will try to explain from both the point of views for a business who is getting 3PL services and also for a business who is providing 3PL services. So there are not many challenges for a person who is getting 3PL services. Let's say I'm a brand, and if I wanted to work with a 3PL services provider, then there is no problem as such. I just need to sign up for the services, and the services provided to me. But for the owner who is kind of setting up 3PL services, there is going to be certain challenges. So firstly, is going to be real estate, because 3PL needs you to have your warehouse across city in a country. So you will need to have a lot of funds. You will need to spend on real estate, and also there are. I mean, let's say as a business, you are kind of stocking goods of a different clients. So let's say if some damage happened to the products, you are going to be responsible.
But don't
So
you
I
think,
think these.
yeah, so Mukesh, don't you think it's also a challenge for the business because they will not have control over their logistics, right? If the logistics gets delayed, they will not have control. Their customer service might get impacted. Don't you think those are some of the challenges that business
Uh,
will also face?
No, I believe if a business is kind of doing logistics from their end, then it can be a problem. But if they're working with a 3PL logistics service, then there is no problem at all. Because I think as an independent business, you do not have that kind of control that you can reduce your delivery time from 7 to 2 days. That's only possible if you're working with 3PL services.
So basically, what you are saying is every business should do 3PL. People who are having their own logistics are not doing it the right way. The businesses who have their own
Okay.
logistics
Okay.
should not do it. Everybody should move to 3PL, is your
Okay.
logic.
So coming back to previous question, I would say you can kind of minimize the challenges, which is, let's say, you can, so when you receive products from a manufacturer, you can firstly keep it at your place and just check, the quality and everything, and then you can ship it to your third party provider.
But will it not increase the lead time, the delivery time to the customer?
No, actually, no. I believe,
Okay, so while you mull over it, Mukesh, help me understand what are some of the key KPIs that we use in logistics. For example, if you would know some KPIs that we use in logistics to manage the operations, because you mentioned that operations and supply chain is something that really
got
likes.
it, got it, got it. So few important things in terms of logistic industries is packaging, firstly, handling goods, shipping out products, and handling RTO and returns. These are, important things.
So, Mukesh,
Complete logistics business revolve around this.
my question is different. My question is, what are the KPIs or key performance indicators that we use? For
Okay.
example, say if
Okay.
I'm using a 3PL, right? If
Mhm.
I'm outsourcing my logistics to a third party, in that case, I need to have some KPIs so that
Got it. Got
my
it.
operations is streamlined. Correct?
Mhm.
Trying to
Got it.
understand you, what are some of the KPIs that we might use?
Okay. So firstly, it would be key. The 3PL services should take responsibility that goods are not damaged, and should also, give report to the brand about, how many products are being shipped daily, how many returns are coming. And then also it's a responsibility of the 3PL services to make sure the deliveries are getting on time, products are being shipped on time.
So
So these are the few things.
how will you measure these?
Okay, how will I measure this? Sorry, I don't think I have an answer for it right now.
No problem. Do you understand financial statements since you've studied commerce?
I mean, can you detail more about what exactly
So,
in terms
for
of
example,
finance management?
would you know what a profit and loss statement is? Would you know what a balance sheet is? Would you know what a cash flow statement is?
No, not much. I do understand a bit of P&L because as I was a business owner, so filing GSTR, ITR, giving GST report to chartered accountant is something which I have did for a long period of time.
So
So I do understand
briefly
a bit
talk
of this.
about let's briefly talk about profit and loss.
Okay.
Tell me what is the difference between depreciation and amortization?
Sorry, can you please repeat the question?
What is the difference between depreciation and amortization?
Depreciation and what was the second word?
Amortization.
I'm sorry, I
No,
haven't heard the word before.
no problem. Can you tell me what is the difference between gross profit and operating profit?
Sure, of course. So let's say if I'm selling a product for 100 rupees and the cost of goods is, let's say, 30. So 70 rupees is my gross profit. And from gross, which is 70 rupees, after deducting all sort of expenses, let's say salaries, marketing, the profit which I'm left is it's going to be the operating profit, if
So,
I'm correct.
so what all do you need to subtract? For example, let's say that I have my accounts team, which is sitting in my
Okay.
office. Okay,
Okay.
so I'm paying salary to them. Let's
Got
say,
it.
I'm paying in that scaled version, 100 rupees is my sales overall,
Got
and
it.
I'm paying 5 rupees to my accounts team.
Got it.
So do I subtract that 5 rupees here or no?
So the 5 rupees will be subtracted from operating profit.
So will it be subtracted from gross profit to arrive at the operating profit or after the
No.
operating profit?
So the only thing which is subtracted to figure out gross profit is what was your cost of goods. That's it.
Okay, no, you've reached gross profit. But
Hmm.
from gross profit to operating profit,
Mhm.
okay, what all elements do we subtract? Do I
Got it.
subtract
Got
salary
it.
from there or no?
Got it. So each and everything. Let's say salary, real estate, shipping cost, advertisement cost, all sort of expenses are going to be considered.
All expenses,
All the expenses, I believe.
including the expenses that I'm paying on my loans. So let's say I've taken loan
Okay.
and I'm paying the expenses
Yes,
on.
it would.
So it will also
Yes.
be.
Yes, I believe it would.
So the expenses that I'm paying on the loans are primarily interests. So are we?
So it can be interest as well as the principal amount, I believe.
So that also will be counted here while arriving at the operating profit.
Yes, I believe.
Okay. All right. Got it. Talk to me a little bit about marketing. Mukesh, what have you done? What have you studied in marketing? What do you understand about marketing?
Sure. Um, so I will kind of firstly like to differentiate a bit about traditional marketing and the marketing which has been done now digital marketing. So I think one reason why each and every business should do in digital marketing is the very first reason is you kind of get data about what kind of people you are marketing. You have more control on data. And I think if you need to test out your services or product, it's very faster when you're doing it with digital marketing compared to traditional marketing. So let's say I'm an online brand. I'm selling, let's say, shoes. And I will compare this situation with an established brand, let's say Bata, and if I'm a very early stage shoe brand. So let's say if Bata want to test a particular product which they have launched, it would take them a lot of money to develop the product, and they will need to invest a lot on research and development and marketing. But at the same time, if an early stage startup is using digital marketing for testing a product, it will just take them about a week to kind of publish the product on website and test it via Facebook ads and marketing, and they will get a sort of idea that if the product is winner or not based on the initial traction which they are getting.
Okay. So if a product does not get initial traction, then the product is not a winner.
At the same time, if your business is only about shoes, then irrespective you are getting traction or not, let's say if you're not getting traction, then you can't just shut down the campaign. You will need to do more optimization on it. Maybe you can change the prices. Maybe you can work on product, and you can figure out.
Got it. Tell me, Mukesh, what is performance marketing?
Okay, in digital marketing, performance marketing is a subcategory. Performance marketing is something in which you spend money on platforms such as Google, Facebook, YouTube, and you run conversion-based campaign in which the main motive is to get sales. I mean, see, in digital marketing, you have many sub-marketing areas, which is traffic, conversion, lead generation, call generation, in which performance marketing is a category in which the main aim is to get sales.
Got it. So what is ROAS?
ROAS stands for return on advertisement spend, in which it's basically calculated on, let's say, if I'm spending 100 rupees and I'm getting back a sale of 500 rupees, that stands that your ROAS was 5x or 500%.
Got it. Got it. So have you ever tried performance marketing yourself?
Yes, yes. I have spent over 30 lakhs of rupees on Facebook ads over a period of 3 years, and I was able to generate sales of around 1.8 crore, which stands about 6 to 7x ROAS for my own business.
Okay. So this is the same business which you mentioned that you've shut down.
Yes.
So what
Correct.
is this business about? Mukesh, talk to me a little bit about it and why did you
Sure,
have
sure,
to shut it down?
sure. I would kind of, go a bit back and explain what was the reason behind starting the business, how did we started,
I
and
will
all that.
I'll request if you could be a little brief and to the point.
Got
Okay.
it. Got it.
So just a little bit about your business model and what
Got it.
was the work and why did it shut down?
Got it. Happy Heat was a D2C platform, direct to consumer, We used to sell affordable home improvement products online directly to customers in India. Okay. We started our operation in 21. We ran the business for about 3 years. We used to sell affordable home improvement products to Indian consumer across category such as a bathroom, kitchen, wall frames, sofa trays, soap dispenser, each and everything. Our focus was to sell affordable products because there are a lot of brands which are dealing into home decor, but there were not many brands who were kind of focusing on only home improvement as a niche. No, there are a lot of brands which are selling statues, wall frame and all that. But I wanted to focus more on products related to kitchen, bathroom, soap dispenser, which are kind of cheap and help you to improve your home. In the first year, okay, so this was a completely bootstrap business. We started with the initial capital of 30K. And the first year, we were able to achieve a revenue of 54 lakhs. Second year, it was 60 lakhs. And in the third year, it was 45 lakhs. For the initial 2 years, we were profitable. First year, we kind of did a profit of around 15% on the revenue. Second year, it was 10%. And coming third year, we operated for like 8 months, from which about 6 months, about 4 to 5 months, we were at break even. And for the next 3 to 4 months, we were at complete loss. So because we were a bootstrap business, so I clearly had idea that I'm losing 100 rupees on per consumer, and I keep on losing the same amount. Let's say for 2,000 consumers, I've exhausted my complete budget. Then I do not have any money to run the business. So it kind of did not make sense to me to do the business in loss because we did not have any kind of funding. It was completely bootstrap business.
Okay, so now help me understand, Mukesh. So you mentioned that 54 lakhs was your revenue in the first year, and
Yes,
15% was the net profit.
15% was the net profit.
So that makes it somewhere around, so 10% is 5.4 and another 5% is 2.7. So good, 8 lakhs of profit in the first year, right? And then
Yes,
in the second year also you had 10%. So effectively, if I combine the profits of the first couple of years, you easily have, 12 to 15 lakh rupees as your accumulated profit. Correct?
correct, correct.
Now,
Hmm.
in the third year, you mentioned you were in losses. What was the kind of revenue that you had done in the third year?
Okay, so third year for 8 months of operation, it was around 45 lakhs. On an average, each month we used to do around 6 to 7 lakhs of revenue. For initial 4 to 5 months, the business was at break even.
What was the loss like in the third year?
Okay, okay. So when I'm talking about break even, it used to be like margin of 1 to 1.5%, and that was also consumed by paying for software charges and everything. And for the next 2 to 3 months, when business was going into losses, it was a loss of, let's say, minus 3 to 4%. If I'm selling a product of 1,000 rupees, that and I'm so it's like I'm losing 40 to 50 rupees on each purchase. So if I continue to do that for a long period of time, then I will exhaust all my capital which I have.
But don't you think you shut it up very, very quickly? You could have thought about other ideas to sort of turn
Got
around
it.
and
Got
make sure that the business was doing profitably.
got it. Got it.
Did you
After
have
closing down the
members? Do you have some team members, people who could help you, support you, rather than shutting it down?
Got it. I was a sole proprietor. I was the only one running the business. I did not had any team because our supply chain and logistics part of the business was completely outsourced to 3PL services provider. And we were only left with doing marketing, which I thought I can do it alone. After closing down the business, I analyzed a bit and I thought I opted for a wrong business model because let's say if you're selling on your own website, then your goal should be to create a brand. If you want to be in a trading business, let's say taking product from one source and selling it to another, you should be on Amazon and Flipkart.
Okay.
So I believe we had a lower rate. Okay, so nowadays, if you are a D2C brand, it's almost impossible to generate profit on the first conversion. You can of course make money when your customers get repeat. But for your customers to get repeat, you should have some sort of USP. You have to focus on retention marketing, which I was not kind of expert, in brand building. Uh, So I believe we were more like a trading business. We were getting products from supplier which were non-branded products and selling it to consumer. So I believe if I wanted to continue this business, I should have been on marketplaces such as Amazon and Flipkart instead of selling on my own website.
Got it. Fair enough. Fair enough. So, Mukesh, now what next? Why would you want to go for Geo Institute?
Got it. So after shutting down the venture, I was sure that I wanted to work in corporate, let's say in consumer brand space or digital marketing or digital first brand. But before, going into corporate, I wanted a platform where I can nourish my skills, understand more about digital marketing, be among good faculties, good set of people. Yeah, so this was the reason I wanted to pursue a master degree and that too into digital marketing as a niche.
Yeah, but you applied only into Geo Institute. You have a very good background. You done some level of business yourself. Why did you not
Mm.
apply to, let's say, other B schools? There are IIMs. Getting admissions through CAT. What was
Mm.
it about Geo Institute that you believe that you should apply into?
Okay. So for me, it's like if Geo Institute happens, then good. If not, then I'm not going to pursue any IIM or top B school because uh, because working in corporate is not something which I'm looking for long time. Of course, after 4 to 5 years down the line, I wanted to start something of my own, and the kind of business capital which I have from my startup, I do not wanted to invest 100% of it in just degree because at the end, after 3 to 4 years, I want to start up again, and I think investing that money into startup would give me a better return, which I'm confident about, instead of spending all that money in a degree from top school.
Got it. Got it. Fair enough. So, how much are you going to spend at Geo Institute?
Geo Institute is bit less. The total amount is 10 lakh, including hostel, each and everything, and the ROI is pretty decent. And the kind of companies which are coming for recruitment are good enough. Like those were the kind of also companies which I want to work on, such as Reliance Retail, Reliance Brand Limited, which are consumer facing brand.
Got it. That sounds good. Now, Mukesh, how do you've already mentioned that you want to get into a startup, 3 to 4 years back. What are your plans on those? Do you want to again get into home improvement, or do you have, are you thinking of, quitting that entire space and then getting into something else?
Got it. So when I say I want to start up again after 3 to 4 years, it's my plan. I'm not sure about it, but at the same time, few lessons which I have learned from my startup will be something I will obviously take into consideration. That is never startup for money, and always kind of make sure that you are solving a problem, a real life problem, and also make sure that the problem you are solving, you kind of are interested in solving those problems. Let's say if you're building a consumer brand which is selling shoes, so make sure that you are interested, in shoe as a category. So all of this is something which I would take into consideration. And after 3 to 4 years, if I see some opportunities that there are, let's say, few brands. Which are selling something and I see a gap over there that which can be solved, and if I'm interested in, then I would start something.
Got it. That sounds good. Mukesh, do you have any questions for me?
No, I don't.
All right. Perfect. So Mukesh, let's end the interview here. And I
Got
believe
it.
I believe it's a good one, but I'll give you some key feedbacks. Okay.
Got it.
All right. So I think you described this, the initial introduction was okay, was not very descriptive,
Okay.
but it was all right. Okay. I think you were dodging some questions on academics. Okay, so I asked you whether
Okay.
you are into commerce. You mentioned maths. Then I said that you interested in maths. You said no. You mentioned accounts. Then I said that okay. Do you want me to get into accounts? Then you were like no, don't get into accounts. So one thing is that if you don't want the interviewer to get into something, it's good to not mention that it's my strong area, because if you are mentioning something it's your strong area, then you are inviting the interviewer to ask questions. So that is one important element, right? Then you mentioned about logistics. You mentioned about supply chain. If you're going to mention about logistics and supply chain, see, one thing which is very, very clear, Mukesh, you've worked, right? You've operated your business, and therefore you have a decent understanding in terms of how to operate business, okay, to a certain level. But your understanding of the KPIs of, for example, logistics, how to measure it, how to make sure that, my logistics performance is absolutely, top class. That is something which you'll have to learn, right? So, when, for example, talking about logistics model, if you are going to talk about supply chain and logistics, understand what are these models, what is 3PL in detail, what are the KPIs, what is 2PL, is there 4PL or no? So I think right now that is the learning that you have to get before you get into the interview, so that you are safe from that standpoint. Okay. Um, from an academic standpoint, talk about things that you actually know, or you can talk about or build a conversation about. Okay. Sometimes we are
Got
passionate about something, or sometimes we are interested about something, and we talk about that, and it gets us into trouble. Okay. So having an understanding, making sure that I absolutely know if there are questions going to come on this topic, I'm fairly comfortable and should be able to answer. Right. Okay. Another thing, Mukesh, which is also a feedback, is that while talking, you keep switching between Hindi and English. So 3PL,
Okay, got it.
3PL ka business model is, now that effectively gives me a sense that the person is a little casual. So you either,
Okay,
so you stick to one language, don't keep switching. You did once more where you mentioned between the sentence vagera.
okay, got it.
So
Got
so control your emotions, and don't give out words
100%.
in different languages. Okay. Again, you started off well, explained gross profit, operating profit well. Then again, interests are not part of operating expenses.
Okay,
Interests are separate. Once you get the operating profit, then then the interest and taxes and everything subtracts to get to the final net income, right?
okay, got it.
So that is again one thing. Your understanding on digital marketing is good. Your understanding on performance marketing, how to measure it through ROAS, is good. So I think that is important. Beyond that, grammatically, there were a few areas where you are making mistakes, but I think in a short run, it's difficult to control that.
Mhm.
There'll be minor issues because of that, but in the shorter run, you should focus more on the bigger areas than on grammatical issues. Beyond that, I think your understanding of business also, so you explained your business quite well. So kudos on that. I think that was a very good one. Plus your clarity in terms of what is it that you want from a B school. Okay, what is your thought process as to why do you want to get into a geo institute, and why would you not want to spend an amount in traditional B schools or IIMs? That was pretty clear, and I really liked it. Also, your thought process of going forward is very aligned with your story. Okay, a lot of people fake their stories as to why do they want to get into a B school,
Mhm.
right? They just
Correct,
want to
100%.
get it anyhow. But in your case, your thought process in terms of why do you want to do it is very clear, and that is something which I really liked about you. So overall, I believe it's a very, very good interview, Mukesh. I liked your candidature, and I wish you all the very best. I think you should be able to get through. Now, if you have any questions that you would want to ask me, I'd be happy to answer those.
Well, I don't have any particular question as such. Although I am, pretty sure about the Geo Institute that I want to join this institute, but I would like review of, I kind of wanted to understand your point of view about the institute.
Okay, so see, I see it as a budding institute. Okay, and there are,
Because see,
yeah.
because see, the thing is, I do not want to kind of align myself or get a tag of a institute which will not do good in future.
Okay, so
There's the thing.
the way I look at it, okay, Mukesh, is that the traditional IIMs also have some investment, but in long run you are able to get good ROI. Okay.
Got it.
In your case, I think the choice that you've made is appropriate. There is no problems there. for somebody like you, I think you should certainly get a good opportunity there because you have that business acumen and that thought process. So I think it's a good choice. I would not say that it's the best of the institutes, or it's one of the finest institutes in the country, but I believe that it is a growing place. It's a place which is improving every day. There are good opportunities. I know people who are there and who've taken good opportunities. So I'll wish you all the very best. And the way I look at it, if you get into a decent place, people who are good certainly get good opportunities. Okay, so whether
Makes
it's
sense.
absolute tier one or let's say a tier two B school also, if you are focused, then you will
Got
get
it.
your best
Mm,
way out of a B school. So that's how I look at it. And if you don't deserve it, you will not get out of a IIM Ahmedabad also, right? So
correct. 100% makes sense.
yeah, so I think Mukesh, very very nice interacting with you. I think this was very very nice. Thank you so much for this interaction.
Got it.